The old house on Blackwood Lane seemed perfect. Spacious, affordable, and just remote enough to feel like a fresh start for the Larkins family. Eric and Sarah Larkin were eager to leave behind the chaos of city life and provide a serene upbringing for their two children, Mia and Liam. As they unpacked, the creaky floorboards and faint scent of mildew felt charming rather than foreboding. It wasn't until the first night that they noticed the peculiar TV channel. The family's living room boasted an outdated television set left by the previous owners. While flipping through the limited channels, Sarah stumbled upon Static. She tried to skip it, but the remote froze, refusing to change the channel. Odd, she thought, but dismissed it as a quirk of old technology. At precisely midnight, the static cleared, revealing a dimly lit view of their own living room. Sarah froze as the camera panned slowly across the room, settling on her and Eric, seated on the couch. "Eric," she whispered, nudging her husband. "Look at this." Eric squinted at the screen, his brow furrowing. "Is this some kind of prank?" he asked. He rose to inspect the corners of the room, searching for hidden cameras. But there was nothing. The TV returned to static as the clock struck 12:01. The next day, Eric dismissed the incident as a bizarre technical glitch, but Sarah couldn't shake the unease. That night, curiosity got the better of them, and the couple stayed up to watch. Again, at midnight, the static cleared, showing their living room. But this time, the view shifted to the upstairs hallway outside Mia and Liam's rooms. As the camera zoomed in on Mia's door, a faint, guttural whisper emanated from the speakers. Eric rushed upstairs to check on the children, but they were fast asleep, undisturbed. The third night brought something far worse. The screen showed a vision of Liam playing on the staircase the next morning. In horrifying detail, the family watched as he slipped, tumbling down the stairs. His small body lay motionless at the bottom. Sarah screamed, covering her mouth in shock. Eric immediately turned off the TV, his hands trembling. Determined to prevent the vision, Eric and Sarah took every precaution. They installed a baby gate at the top of the stairs and forbade Liam from going near them. But fate seemed relentless. While playing with a ball in the hallway, Liam accidentally sent it bouncing down the stairs. In his excitement, he forgot the rule and climbed over the gate. Just as the TV had shown, he tripped and fell. Thankfully, the injuries were minor, but the incident left the family shaken. Over the following nights, the TV's broadcasts became increasingly sinister. They showed images of Sarah being scalded by boiling water in the kitchen, Eric being pinned under a fallen bookshelf, and Mia wandering outside into the dark woods, never to return. Every effort to avoid these events seemed to draw them closer. Sarah avoided cooking but spilled a cup of hot coffee on herself instead. Eric bolted the bookshelf to the wall, only for it to collapse when he adjusted a crooked picture frame. The visions felt like a curse they couldn't escape. Desperation led Eric to consult the town's historian, an elderly woman named Mrs. Hensley. Her eyes widened when he mentioned the house. "That's the old Camden place," she said. "The previous owners claimed the house was cursed. They said the TV warned them of terrible things, too. They left town after their son." She trailed off, shaking her head. "You need to leave, Mr. Larkin. That house has a way of making sure its prophecies come true." But leaving wasn't an option. Financially strapped, the Larkins had sunk everything into the house. Besides, where would they go? They decided to destroy the TV instead. Eric carried it into the backyard and smashed it with a sledgehammer, reducing it to a pile of shattered glass and twisted wires. That night, The family felt a tentative sense of relief. But at midnight, a faint glow emanated from the living room. Creeping downstairs, Eric and Sarah found the static channel playing on their modern flat screen, which they hadn't even plugged in yet. The camera zoomed in on their bedroom, where they could see themselves standing in the doorway, watching the TV. Behind them, a shadowy figure loomed. They spun around, but the room was empty. The shadow on the screen stepped closer. Sarah screamed as the figure reached out toward their on-screen selves. The TV crackled, and the power in the house surged, plunging them into darkness. The next morning, the Larkins' house sat eerily quiet. A neighbor, noticing the stillness, knocked on the door but got no answer. Through the window, she could see the static on the TV flickering faintly in the empty living room.